This is September 16th, and we're leaving Mesquite, Texas, on our way to Mckinney to start our trip out west.
You ought to be able to see the rodeo up here in a minute.
What'd you say?
You ought to be able to see the rodeo up here in a minute.
Oh, okay. The Mesquite Rodeo.
Yeah.
Where's the Dallas skyline? We can't see that, can we?
Behind those trees.
We're on the LBJ Freeway. Well, I've missed it now.
Getting out the side window.
Oh, those buildings are in the way. Well, I was trying to get the downtown Dallas skyline, but I missed it.
Get it in between these buildings.
No, I think we're too low.
Maybe when you get on top of this overpass. Trees.
Yeah, you can't get it. Okay, we're now on US 75, approaching Plano, Texas.
This is Plano.
What Plano now looks like.
You get on top of this overpass, you'll be able to get a wonderful view. Plano, Texas. You got that US 75 marker in your camera, didn't you?
I thought I did. Hope so. Is that still Plano up in front of us?
Yeah, still all part of Plano.
Are you going to take me to McKinney?
Well, here, right here. Get this sign.
What, right here?
Yeah. McKinney City Limits. See right here?
Oh.
Right in front of you. Did you get the sign that says McKinney City Limits?
Yes, I did.
So I'm taking you to McKinney.
So I'm here.
Yeah, you're there.
I'm in McKinney.
You saw the City Limits sign.
Well, okay.
I've done my job.
So this is what McKinney looks like, huh? This is it?
Yeah. Now you can see the church up ahead, and the water tower. Are you getting to the downtown area?
No, I'm trying to get the houses over there.
Look up ahead, you can see downtown McKinney. Straight ahead.
Yeah. Looks like a pretty good sized town.
Is your REC showing?
Yes.
Even Louisiana Street.
It's called Wilson Creek over there. Oh, this is McKinney. Shopping. They've even got a McDonald's and a Taco Bell. Boy, this is a big city.
Modern.
There's the United States Post Office. They've even got a Holiday Inn.
I'm gonna stop here and go potty.
Did you see a Kmart sign?
What?
Did you see a Kmart sign?
No, but I've got to go potty today.
Oh, we're gonna stop in McKinney and go potty.
Stop at the Holiday Inn parking lot.
Never, China. You need to go potty too? Hold on, okay. Hold on. Okay, this is McKinney going 380 east. There's a Walmart, honey.
Yeah, when we come back, maybe we can stop over there.
We're gonna stop in there and look for a space heater. Yeah, pretty big one
You'll
over
see
there.
a windsock on that building. That's a hospital.
It is?
Yeah.
Right over here. Yeah, there's an arrow.
North Texas Medical Center.
North Texas Medical Center. Well, that can't be the place. No, we're not going to try and find it because it's probably not there anymore.
I'm going to make a U-turn.
Okay. There's somebody that lives in McKinney. I guess I ought to get her in there.
Maybe your daddy knows her.
Uh-huh.
Maybe it's an ex-girlfriend right there.
I don't believe so. There's a McKinney resident.
Can I call her or take her picture and see if he recognizes her?
There's another McKinney resident.
Did you get her picture?
Uh-huh. I got her picture. I got a good picture.
I suspect it's an ex-girlfriend.
Daddy was married when he lived here, dear. This is Graves Street, if that means anything.
This is probably way out in the country of pasture. back in those days.
Yeah. And 380 is the same as University Drive. Well, Walmart didn't have our space heater, but we loaded up on candy and peanuts and snacks. McKinney Walmart.
There's the McKinney water tower.
Stop for a minute, I'll
Let me get in front of these cars.
try and zoom in on McKinney.
Using telephoto.
Uh-huh.
Can I get out of this town now?
Well, I can't figure out how to get it. Wait a minute. There we go. Okay, now I figured out the buttons.
I want to get out of this town.
Then let's blow this joint.
Can I get out of this town?
Yes, sir. Hit the road, Jack.
Nothing but hicks and hillbillies in this town.
Well, that's right. And we're proud of it. Doggone proud of it. Okay, we're leaving McKinney on 380 west,
Headed towards Denton.
headed to Denton. In Denton, we'll pick up, what road are we picking up?
I-35.
I-35 north on our way to Wichita, Kansas. There's a campground right there. Well, see, we could just stay right here in McKinney and live in our motorhome.
Just look around for our home site.
Sure.
Well, that's for sale. Good looking soil.
Yeah, nice looking.
New plow.
I think I got it.
Have a chance to get through it.
No. Too many things to do when I just grab it and pick it up.
Oklahoma's Indian territory.
Indian bingo, it says. Oh,
Their
dear.
phone, isn't it?
Yeah.
Skyline in your video?
Yeah. Okay, we've driven about 120 miles. We're now in the middle of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Just this downtown skyline. Can't see it very well there. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's a big city.
Well, that was the Capitol building. Well, I don't know if I got it or not. See if there's another one. Trying to get the Santa Fe Railroad train. But we passed one. I'm hoping there's another one up here. That's Southern Pacific.
Those are automobile hauling cars.
Well, I don't know if I got Santa Fe or not. This is where I want to turn the lights backwards. China! China! Hey! Good girl. Hi, China. She's a little bit rough right now. She doesn't want to lay down. She needs to brace herself. Okay, we just left Oklahoma City. On our way to Wichita.
About this Burris, Eugene Burris.
Burris.
Burris. The bad guy?
He had a knife, he had a switchblade and the camouflage knife, and he tried to rape me while we had the blanket in front of the truck.
And what about Dick Humphreys?
Humphrey, oh God. That creep told me he was a cop for Wildwood and showed me this badge.
His family is going to be in the studio. His wife complains that you tortured him, shot him in the gut, made him die.
We struggled with the gun. I mean, when I shot him first, when he was coming at me with the handcuffs and the billy club, after I got out, he put me in the back.
Trying to find a good oil well.
Well, there's one there being drilled, it looks like.
Killer of 7 Yes.
I have a question for our attorney. If she truly believes she's innocent by defense and that she's been railroaded, how come she hasn't used her appeal? I mean, as her attorney, aren't you supposed to advise her things like that?
Yes, the appeal is automatic in the state of Florida. So whether or not she wants to appeal or not, it's already being done automatically.
And you're trying to fight it?
No, what I did was when we ended up, Lee changed the plea to guilty in these cases, we had a penalty phase decide recommendation. Those things have been done. They're going to be looked at by the Supreme Court. And what I did for Lee basically was this. She said, Steve, make sure this case doesn't come back. So I read and read and read, and I found out what makes cases come back, what issues come back. So I tried to cover all those issues in the beginning so that there are no grounds for appeal.
Vanessa, how long does a person think about staying in the career you're in? Like 10 years, 20 years? Or...
How long have you been not popular anymore?
So you're not popular anymore? That's
Yeah, there you go.
So when you're John saying your time is up, that's when your time is up?
We,
You have to think about the future, so I think about you have to do something else outside of that.
Evelina Giobbe's on the phone now. She's the founder of a group that helps prostitutes quit.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Cross-examine, Mr. Wagner.
Thank you, Your Honor. Noah, you used the last name of Miller. Is Taylor Miller your biological father? I don't know, but in a greater sense, we are all Taylor's children. He teaches us, and we work to be like him.
Now, isn't it true that you're being groomed to take his place as the next leader, as the next exalted master?
Yes, I accept that. It is my destiny.
But Noah, did you ever wonder what it was
Wrong, because it is shared among so many.
Welcome.
Now, Noah, are you also destined to be a breeder?
I will have that honor very soon.
Okay, we're
But did you ever wonder
1
what
mile
it would be
into
like
Kansas.
to fall in love?
What exactly do you mean by fall in love?
No further questions, Your Honor.
6 o'clock.
Very well. You may step down, Noah. Thank you very much. Ms. Edwards, have you anything else?
No, Your Honor. The defense rests.
Very well, Mr. Wagner.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
And now we're coming into South Wichita. Can't really see very much. Well, we're just a few miles out of Wichita. It's Friday, September 17th. We spent the night in Wichita. We're on our way to Nebraska. That's millet growing out here.
There's 2 different varieties of millet. See the difference in the color of the seed head?
Yes.
Light color.
Yeah, me too. I gotta go to St. Joe in Quincy, Illinois. That's the wrong direction.
This is pretty typical of the farms we've been seeing through Kansas. Just wonder if that over there is where Dorothy and Toto and Indiana live.
Sunshine again.
But
They were beginning to get some sunshine. Here's Nebraska, swing around.
now in Nebraska, going north on 81 to Hebron. Hebron?
Yeah.
Well, I turned that on just in time, didn't I?
Yeah.
Whoops, speed limit 45, and how fast are you going?
Just doing 65.
He's going 65 in a 45 mile zone.
Now I'm down to 45.
Uh-huh. Well, only you can verify that because I can't see it.
That's good. You don't need to see it.
This is, what town is this? Let's see, this must be,
Chester.
Chester, Nebraska.
Hebron, 12 miles.
Okay. And Fairbury, 30, it says you could go there. Did you see that sign?
I think, yeah. I think up there it's a U.S. highway.
Well, now we're between Hebron and Fairbury, Nebraska.
Like experimenting with different seed types from genetic types.
Who were you talking to?
I was going to see if I could follow me, and I got a recording that says that your call cannot be completed as dialed.
Oh. I have E-F on here and a bunch of numbers. What does that mean?
Probably pushed, sounds like a counter. You must have pushed something that is your counter for your tape.
I don't know what it was.
Just keep pushing buttons till it goes out. Well, at least we were able to pick somebody out. They just don't have follow me room.
Oh.
Well, I was able to pick up somebody, an operator.
Oh, you talked to a live person?
No, there's a recording, but that means somebody heard us, which is a good sign.
Oh boy, now I really got it messed up.
Are you still recording?
Yeah. Oh, okay, it went off. Whatever it was. But now I got to get off the original thing I was working on. Oh dear, now I got something else come on.
That must be fit like a town. Be a water tower.
Okay, now I got everything off. Okay, we're taking the automobile tour route of what?
Oregon Trail?
Yeah, but is there a name?
No. We're looking for Rock Creek Station.
Well, that was back there, darling. Okay. Have you read about Bronner's Creek? Well, I wonder how far this auto tour route takes us. Okay, I think that's a good idea. Okay, we're going to our first destination point, Rock Creek Station.
Where that road goes.
Well, I don't know. We finally made it. Rock Creek Station, State Historical Park in Fairbury, Nebraska. Okay.
Covered wagon down there. Looks like the skeleton from an old wagon laying out over there.
Is there water in there?
Jerry, you can walk to where the bus is going, right?
Rock Creek Station, near Fairbury, Nebraska, like others along the Overland Trail and Pony Express Trail, surely would have faded into obscurity except for one fateful event. An event which forever left Rock Creek Station with a legend which grew and grew over the years. It was here that James Butler Hickok, known to history as Wild Bill, gunned down David McCandless, his cousin James Woods, and friend James Gordon. Various accounts of the tragic event were told. The version most frequently used was started by Bill himself. Dime novelists picked up on this yarn and spread the story that Hickok had actually defeated 10 heavily armed men single-handedly, although sorely wounded. The trail past Rock Creek had been used for many years by Indians, explorers, and travelers. By the 1840s, Rock Creek became a well-used resting area on the Oregon-California Trail. The first recorded commercial use was in 1857, when a man named Glenn built the Rock Creek Station on the west side of the creek for the Overland Stage Company and as a trading post. Originally interested in the Colorado gold fields, David McCandless arrived in the spring of 1859. Hearing discouraging reports from returning prospectors, he decided to stay in the Rock Creek area, and soon thereafter purchased the station. After building a new ranch house and barn on the east side of Rock Creek, he sent for his family. Rock Creek was one of the more difficult crossings on the trail, often delaying wagons for an entire day with its steep banks and rock-strewed bottom. McCandless, with American ingenuity, soon had Rock Creek bridged and charged a toll to cross. Life along the trail was entirely different at Rock Creek than the loneliness of the frontier camps further west. Every night during the brief immigrant travel season, a new set of wagons camped along the stream and used the abundant spring water, wood, and grass. McCandless was an interested attendant at these camps and often joined in the nightly games and dancing. This was an important time in the development of the United States, the settlement of the western frontier. In 1860, Russell, Majors, and Waddell, owners of the Overland Stage Company, invested heavily in another venture of theirs, the Pony Express. Rock Creek Station became Nebraska Station number 2, one of about 130 on the 2,000-mile route from St. Joe, Missouri to Sacramento, California. McCandless leased and then sold Rock Creek Station to the 3 investors and moved his family to a tract of land in the Little Blue Valley, about 3 miles south of the station. This became the first tract registered in the county as a home and farm. Horace Wellman and his wife were then placed in charge of Rock Creek Station with J.W. Doc Brink as stockman. Early in the spring of 1861, the stage company sent 23-year-old James Butler Hickok to Rock Creek as an assistant stockman or stabler. He was not the peace officer or Pony Express writer, as the authors of later dime novels portrayed him. The floundering company could not come up with a mortgage payments and kept telling McCandless that the money would be forthcoming. After the final payment fell due, McCandless confronted Wellman, demanding full payment, or he was going to repossess the station. Wellman hid behind his wife, refusing to come out and talk things over with McCandless. Suddenly, Hickok appeared at the door, and McCandless's anger heightened. Heated words were exchanged, and soon Hickok moved behind a calico curtain that divided the cabin. McCandless called for Hickok to come out and fight fair, but Hickok promptly took aim and shot the unarmed McCandless through the heart. McCandless' young son Monroe, by his father's side, dodged a blow to the head by Wellman and ran to his home on the Blue River. Years later, his crudely drawn map revealed what he remembered of the incident. Hearing the shooting, Woods and Gordon came running from the barn, only to be shot down by Hickok, Wellman, and Brink. The three men later appeared before the justice of the peace and were found not guilty, saying they killed the men in self-defense. 12-year-old Monroe was not allowed to testify, and the justice heard only Hickok's version. Wild Bill moved on to become a famous lawman, scout, and card-playing maverick, but he too met with a tragic fate. When only 39 years old, Wild Bill was shot in the back by Jack McCall while playing cards in Saloon Number 10 in Deadwood, South Dakota. He held a pair of aces and eights, now known as the famous Dead Man's Hand. Traffic through Rock Creek Station soon tapered off due to much of the wagon transportation using the new shorter Nebraska City Fort Kearney Road and the Council Bluffs Road out of Omaha. The completion of the Transcontinental Railroad in 1869 would for the most part end the importance of the road branches. Some 20 years ago, the Nebraska Game and Parks Commission began purchasing the land that encompassed the two old road ranches. Since then, extensive research has located the old building sites and other features of both the east and west ranches. One of the most valuable clues is this old photograph, taken at Rock Creek Station about 1860. Found recently in the California State Library in Sacramento, it showed the general appearance of the station to those reconstructing the building. The man on the horse might be David McCannless. Today, Rock Creek Station State Historical Park is aggressively interpreting its rich past. A donation of the Burlington Northern Foundation funded construction of the Visitor Center, which houses displays and the many artifacts found on the site. A modern campground established on the land donated through the Game and Parks Commission Foundation by Bob and Lena Berkeley of Fairbury, providing easy access to the ranch site and visitor center without intruding on the historic setting. Reconstruction of the 20 by 24 foot cabin at the West Ranch is based on the 1860 photograph. The hand-cut, rough-hewn logs and homemade furnishings provide a good look at what life was like at Rock Creek Station. A footbridge built on the approximate location of the old toll bridge provides easy access to the East Ranch site and the prairies south of Rock Creek. Ongoing reconstructions include the East Ranch's 18 by 22 foot cabin where the Hickok McCandless incident took place, the bunkhouse, barn, and small coal collection building at the east approach of the bridge are included in the long-range reconstruction plan. No tour of Rock Creek Station State Historical Park should begin without first stopping at the Visitor Center. Approximately 20 display cases of photographs and wall displays are the heart of the historical interpretation done by the Nebraska Game and Parks Commission and the State Historical Society. A replica of the rifle used by Hickok to kill McKinney, Pony Express saddlebag, stagecoach strongbox, tools, and hardware that held Rock Creek together, plus much, much more, can be seen there. The displays also show the Pony Express, immigrant travel, freighting, stagecoach travel, military use, road ranches and forts that influenced this important part of the nation's history. The Visitor Center is near the departure point for the very popular covered wagon ride across the footbridge to the east of the ranch and the prairies beyond. A suspension bridge at the far end of the picnic area crosses Rock Creek and leads to the nature trail that winds along the creek, out among the wild flowers and native grasses of the upland prairie. More than 70 species of flora can be found on this prairie. Hills. Nebraska, as it was during the covered wagon days, is preserved in its original state. The prairie, after all, is part of Nebraska's heritage. Wildlife, too, is abundant, and among the birds likely to be seen on the area are the northern and orchard oriole, red-headed woodpecker, the dick thistle, common yellowthroat, meadowlark, grasshopper sparrow, and the eastern kingbird. Rock Creek Station, 400 acres of fascinating history, scenic beauty, and first-rate facilities. Park Superintendent Wayne Brandt and Commission Director Rex Amath are dedicated to preserving this area, one of southeast Nebraska's premier attractions. Plan to visit Rock Creek Station State Historical Park again and again as its development continues to enhance your appreciation for this part of Nebraska's proud history.
I listened to the rest of it. Well, here, we have our layout. We left the windows open in the motorhome. Do you think it's all right?
Part of the trail, isn't it? Original trail. I think these are the old wagon ruts right here. Going in through there.
Down in here, huh?
Yeah. Oh, and going over the hill, you can see the depression.
See, that way is the horse camping. We're in a valley going through there.
Yeah, boy, those wore deep, didn't they?
Yeah.
That's the station house on this side, the Pony Express station house.
It says West Ranch.
It's on, is that on the other side of the creek?
No. This side of the creek. Okay. Yeah, this is the West Ranch over here.
Wenn man so auf den Spuren wieder losgeht, ja. Unsere Urahn.
Ja. Die haben kein leichtes Leben gehabt.
Randy and those guys are going to talk about that. We may see that. We may see that change on the state citation. They'll put a minimum of 12 inches or 50.
Wagons don't match my 1800s.
No. There are a lot of them that didn't walk.
Yeah. These wagons are all replicas, right?
Correct. This one here we built in the park. The orange parts on it are original parts.
Oh.
The hubs and everything were original and still in pretty good shape. We just put new spokes and fillies in them, and we reshrunk the irons, make them fit. And then our blacksmith, he made the little tie-down hooks and the chain and all that good stuff to give it some color. We had tarps on all of them, and there in end of July or 1st of August or something, we had that tornado that come through, and it piled all these wagons up and ripped their tarps. And,
oh yeah?
This one here broke a bunch of bows on, and I kind of got them cobbled back together and fixed up, but that's why they're missing their canvases. Poked holes in them. Okay, but yeah, we got the Pony Express barn and the corral around it. Then the cabin with the first cabin up is the bunkhouse. Okay, then the cabin in the with the window is the East Ranch cabin, and that's where the shooting that took place.
Oh, okay.
Okay, then in you got the Toll Bridge and then Rock Creek. You're on the West Ranch right now. You're on the west side of Rock Creek. And the other side's the East Ranch.
Did the wagons go through here?
Yeah, you're walking in the Oregon Trail.
Oh, okay.
Okay, if you look back up behind you here,
Uh-huh.
you see that little depression in the hill?
Yes.
Okay, that's the Oregon Trail rut.
Okay.
You know, it's so full of grass, it's not as evident, but that depression going up the hill is the Oregon Trail. It come right down through the ranches. I seen you had a map here. I'll point something out to you. Okay. Basically, we're sitting right like this.
Okay.
You just walk down along the edge of the Oregon Trail.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're down here. Here's the West Ranch cabin behind me, and then the post office, the toll bridge, the Pony Express barn, the bunkhouse, East Ranch cabin. But down here in the creek, I'll walk down to the toll bridge with you. This here is about 150-foot wide draw. You know, real deep, full of rocks and trees, unpassable unless you're on a horse or on foot. But McCandless, when he built his toll bridge, he altered the Oregon Trail from 1859 to Newer to come down and come right through his ranches and then up. Okay, the 1840s trail to about 1858, 1859, before the toll bridge was built, come down and met right here. Both of them are meeting in the same spot. So that's what, in the railroad tracks, the bulletin board right up there is sitting right in front of the railroad tracks. Okay. In this particular angle here, it's not real evident, but once you get up there about where the stagecoach is at, if you look at the horizon up there, you'll see a depression that's in the horizon. That's in, you know, and that'll be your newer trail rut in the 1850s and newer. Okay, the old trail rut come down the opposite side of this big draw, and this whole thing here represents 393 acres, and from this point here, if this road went across, that'd be a 1 mile stretch. So this here draw is about 1/3 of a mile long is all. Okay, and they just went around it to come into the ranch, and before the ranch was developed, they come down and met in the same spot.
Thank you.
Okay. And on the back side of that bulletin board is that old black and white photograph with the man on the horse. Okay, if you stand up there behind and look back, you'll see how that all took place. You can compare the creek bank up here in the picture and the horizon. You know, there's a lot of lacking trees.
A lot more trees here now than there were back then.
Lots more. Okay, and this is Rock Creek.
How did they get across?
Of course, it's all full of trees right now. They just took over, and we haven't ever done anything with it. We don't, but they come down and come into the creek approximately where all these rocks are strung up here in this bottom. Okay, instead of coming up and jumping straight up the creek, they've turned when they're in the creek, and they've come right around. There's a little shelf that these trees are sitting on, and where these sunflowers are at, right here at the end, they've worked themselves up. Instead of coming in, they've worked themselves up on a little landing and then come up. And then utilize the trail right on up here. And then the building that's up here with the footings under construction will be the toll bridge cabin.
A replica of the old toll bridge. Yeah, this would have been a rough creek to cross with a wagon without a bridge. Guess he got wealthy doing that.
Walked on the Oregon Trail.
We're walking the same steps that tens of thousands walked on.
They didn't have these comfortable shoes either.
Actually, the worst part of their trail was yet to come, that we're going to see in the next several days. One of the buildings under construction. See this scoop right here? That's not old. I can remember when My dad and my grandfather were building a trench silo behind a mule.
Uh-huh.
They would, mule would pull it and it would dig down into the dirt.
Oh.
And take it out to an area where they want to get rid of it and just flip it over. 1930s, that wasn't real old, was it?
No. 60 years ago.
Well, you're making it sound old.
I said it was only.
Oh.
Now, how did they get carriages up in here if they had this log across here? That kind of makes sense.
Well, maybe that's for modern times.
Yeah.
The bellows up there for their forge. This blacksmith was here probably for the Pony Express. Yeah, Pony, here it is. This is Pony Express barn. I guess this is where the riders could take a break, waiting for the next leg of the ride. Horses would rest up here. Those are replacement hoops for the covered wagons, looks like.
Oh, yeah.
That's a brake up there. It's like horse hoof marks. Like the horse has been in here recently.
What are they using between the boards? Mud?
I think they used mud back in those days.
There's a plow. There's a marker.
Well, it's a well. Hand dug, it said. Looks like it's filled in now.
Here's the marker.
This has an upstairs.
Right up there.
Well, this is about the Hickok McConnell's fracas. So this is where he shot him. I guess we got the story on the tape.
These are very narrow steps, huh?
See if there's anything up there.
It's just one big open room with a rocking chair.
Alright, I'm not going up there then.
It'd be nice to have a house like this.
It would. Well, look at the real estate section.
No. I didn't say here. I said it'd be nice to have it like this.
So you can hang hats up there. Above this door, you hang your hat. Looks pretty old, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course, I guess they may have used. They made them to look that way.
Looks like it was red at one time. Okay. Be nice if they marked the trail off on the other side of the creek like they have here.
Yeah. Yes, that must have been the original trail before we built the toll bridge.
Well, the original trail crossed the creek. And they just built the bridge to make it easier. So that's the trail there. It leads up to that toll bridge down there. Is this where the shooting was?
No, the shooting was back at the
In the house?
Mm-hmm.
So this was the office.
Mm-hmm.
Dirt floor. It's the site of the Mormon Trail, right?
Mm-hmm. With the teepees.
Yeah.
That little church back
And the
there.
church way back there. Telephoto brought it in real close. Okay, let's go see what these folks have to offer.
Where do we start?
We started in that building over there. They said they had some movies and things that tell you kind of an orientation room over there. Corn?
Kettle corn.
That's
Is that,
good. That's good stuff. It's sweet.
Yeah. Did you add sweetening to it?
Oh, a little of this and a little of that.
Oh, yeah? And you sell it?
You betcha. Well, I try to.
Maybe we'll catch you on the way out.
Alrighty.
You make it in that kettle.
And this one right here. And then I flip it up and throw it in the front one there.
Oh, for heaven's sake. Wow. Yeah, that's good.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's good.
About a sample, man.
Looks like it's got sugar in it, or
Yeah.
corn syrup or something.
Inviting you to look back with me into history and see life as it was in the railroad towns of yesteryear. The deserted homesteader's cabin at the bend of the road. The Gothic elegance of the frame house on the corner. The flicker of kerosene lamps in the early station. Landmarks of the past. A living, breathing history book where we see and feel the pioneer life of the Nebraska plains and where a proud pioneer heritage lives for tomorrow.
Sure you recognize the voice of the late Henry Fonda, world-renowned actor of stage and screen. Mr. Fonda was born in Grand Island in 1905. He had a keen interest in Stuhr Museum, and he gave freely of his time to promote the museum and to record toward narrative for his visitor orientation films. He also paid to have the small bungalow in which he was born moved to the museum grounds and restored. In a few moments, we'll return to Henry Fonda for a tour of the museum. But first, let me introduce you to Stuhr Museum's historical focus, the colorful and inspiring story of the Prairie Town Builders. A story that begins with the vast prairie wilderness of central Nebraska, through which sliced the broad, muddy, flat river. A treeless country, the home of Indians, a land which some call the Great American Desert. During the 1840s, covered wagon pioneers by the thousands crossed this land, rumbling along the Platte River trails which led to Oregon, California, Utah, Colorado. The land had value to that generation, but only as a broad road heading west. By the 1850s, however, folks back east began to develop a new vision of what this land might one day be. A confidence that the country would be crossed by railroads, that the iron horse would conquer the desert, and that settlers would come to take up claims on the land, to make the wilderness blossom as a rose. Farmers, ranchers, but first of all, the town builders. Some Davenport, Iowa businessmen shared this vision, and in 1857 recruited 37 men and women whom they sent to build a town in the Platte Valley. They named the town Grand Island City. By 1879, Hall County was dotted with bustling railroad towns, country post offices, and rural communities, all built by resourceful men and women who established businesses and opened churches and schools, who created communities where future generations would live satisfying and productive lives. This was the legacy of the Prairie Town Builders. And now we return to Henry Fonda and a preview of what you will see and experience as you tour the museum.
The impressive list of structures around the world designed by famous architect Edward Durrell Stone now includes the magnificent main building of the Stuhr Museum. A pyramidal skylight illuminates the first floor gallery, which is complemented by fountains, pools, and twin spiral staircases. The gallery features a variety of exhibits each year, including art shows by local or area artists, and special exhibits organized from the museum's permanent collections. On the second floor, an 1889 Edison phonograph fills the air with nostalgic sounds of yesterday's music as we browse among priceless mementos of days gone by. Like the Prairie Victorian bathroom, resplendent with its brightly stenciled walls and floor, the country kitchen of the 1890s, where many a hearty pioneer meal was prepared on this wood-burning cook stove. No bedroom was complete without a fancy array of matching wash basins, pitchers, and pots. And no sewing room was completely equipped without a foot-powered machine, patterns, and dress form. Dolls, toys, and baby carriages our grandparents remember so well. Symbols of family culture and prestige. The magnificent Steinway of the 1860s. Formal place settings for Sunday dinner. And Mother's proud display of her finest china. Next on our tour, the Farner Rotunda, located just south of the main building. Built with features resembling a giant wagon wheel, the rotunda houses the Indian and Old West collections of the late Gus Fowner, Hall County pioneer and civic leader. Centered in the wagon wheel hub is a sculpture grouping which depicts a Plains Indian family. Other exhibits reflect the Plains Indian cultures of the Sioux, Cheyenne, Blackfoot, and Crow tribes, and the contrasting cultures of the European settlers and cattlemen as they established themselves on the high plains. Across the grounds to the northeast, the Stuhr Museum Antique Auto and Farm Machinery Collection, one of the finest of its kind in the Midwest. The Gar Scott steam engine of 1890. Monsters, they called them, but only 16 horsepower. Early distillate and kerosene tractors, like the Canard of 1918, with giant wheels that trampled everything in sight. The era of the gasoline tractor from 1900 to 1918. Smaller in size, bigger in horsepower, maneuverable enough to work the field. The incredible Sawyer Massey threshing machine of 1880. Horse-powered and hand-fed. Worked like a charm, sometimes. Henry Ford's Model T, an American institution that changed a way of life. The V-Lee touring car, the sportsman's choice. The racy Overland touring car, father's pride and joy. From early automation to early village life, as we enter the railroad town of the Prairie Pioneer. Plotted according to Union Pacific plans of the 1860s, this turn-of-the-century town is typical of those established along the right-of-ways. Every building is an original structure donated by Nebraska citizens interested in preserving the history of their respective communities. The depot was built in 1887. Here, the busy station master worked as telegraph operator, ticket agent, and baggage clerk. The rail yard also features an exhibit of stationary rail stock, including old number 437, a 1901 Baldwin locomotive that huffed and puffed through the Nebraska sandhills. An 1872 coach, the oldest in the collection, converted in 1922 to a boarding car. And a 1912 caboose, in which many a Nebraska cattleman hitched a free ride when he shipped his cattle to market. Across tracks on Main Street, the original 4th Avenue Hotel from Red Cloud, Nebraska, a home away from home for tired, hungry travelers. On one corner, the original Kennesaw, Nebraska Bank, built in 1883, where farm and town folks saved and borrowed. The blacksmith shop from Aurora, Nebraska, recalls a trade all but faded into the pages of history. The clang of the resident blacksmith's anvil echoes up and down Main Street as he demonstrates to summer visitors and central Nebraska school children. The Mill House, built in 1879, is typical of the grace and elegance of that era. Completely original, including decorative glass and metal railings. Inside, authentic furnishings depict life as it was in 1895. My, how the clock turns back. The Lesher House was built in 1883 in Grand Island. Furnishings were chosen and arranged with information in a tape-recorded conversation with a member of the original Lesher family. A wooden windmill from a farm northwest of St. Paul, Nebraska, raises a farmhouse typical of the period when towns began to engulf many original farming areas. A highlight of our tour is the beautiful Danish Lutheran country church built in 1888, 3 miles north of Hampton, Nebraska. The chancel rail and altar painting are unusually beautiful for churches of that era and closely resemble their Scandinavian prototypes. And here's a place of special interest to me, the Fonda Cottage, built between 1887 and 1890 in Grand Island. My parents rented this house in 1903 from banker George Bell. This is the room where I was born. A day in the railroad town of the Prairie Pioneer is a day to long remember. There's so much more to see than I have time to tell you about. Nostalgia grips us at every turn, at every doorway. Everything so completely authentic, so painstakingly collected, so beautifully restored.
This is Bob Manley again. As you learn about the pioneer town builders at Stuhr Museum, one thing should become very clear. The problems they faced were much like the problems that confront us in our modern communities. But we know that the pioneers persevered, that many of them succeeded in reaching their goals. We know that they found ways to overcome the problems which threatened the existence of their communities. And this knowledge can give us a sense of confidence that we too will find ways to build enduring communities. We want you, our visitors, to leave Stuhr Museum with an understanding of and an appreciation for the pioneer town builders, and with a determination to be builders of the community in which you live and in which your children will live.
This is Henry Fonda. I hope you enjoy your visit to the Stuhr Museum, where Nebraska's pioneer heritage lives for tomorrow.
When? 1800? Is the top open? See if the top opens. I guess we're not supposed to open it.
Well, I think it probably does. There's a latch somewhere.
Yeah. What's this one over here?
1 There's no day. Nebraska. Nebraska.
Because that's what it was called originally, huh? Oh.
Yeah. 12th day of September, 1867. To Grand
Island. Do you want some pictures of China?
Not especially.
That'd be horrible smelling stuff. Then we get that crock full. The bread.
Well, it's his people that were going to be separated for a lengthy period of time often exchanged human
And
hair.
this frame here, I guess that's human hair, is it?
Yeah. A memorial wreath. He used to make memorial wreaths from the hair of deceased relations.
Oh.
Because it's the only part of the body which you can keep as a memento.
This looks like all human hair over here too.
So they've got people's names beside them. Well, that's really fascinating. This whole wreath is made out of human hair.
Yeah.
And they have, see the names beside each one, telling whose hair that was? Looked like they all had just about the same color of hair.
All Germans, I guess. They were all look the same. Kind of reminds you of Williamsburg.
Yeah.
Country style Williamsburg. All these were in that slide presentation we saw. For milk delivery.
Do you remember things like that?
No, I go a long way back, but I don't go back quite this far.
The blacksmith is near.
Oh, he's working. Are we making some horseshoes?
Okay, we're going to go in this house.
We're going to go in this house?
Yeah, I want to see. That's what I like. I like the houses.
Are we going to go in all these houses?
No, we won't go in all of them.
Oh, okay. Otherwise, we're going to have to change our itinerary and stay here a couple more days.
No, we won't go in all of them. Let's just see.
We have countryside to see.
Okay.
You can see a house anywhere.
Not old enough like this. We usually not welcome.
Without knocking, somebody might live here. You
Rats
folks-
don't feed, those are the largest ones I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I've seen lots, I've seen the one in the corner. That's more normal size.
Do you remember in the video whose house this was, or was it somebody famous? Or just typical?
Doesn't matter how tall they are. Right with the house because there was no way to get it out the door.
The furniture original?
Just the piano and the secretary in the corner. And the furniture in the master bedroom.
And this piano, what? Pretty wallpaper.
Yeah. Like they had closets.
They what?
Had closets. Remember, a lot of the older homes didn't have built-in closets.
Yes, can't go back there, can we?
No.
But they didn't know about corner girls.
Well, it sounds like she got a little bitter later.
What year did she die?
I think she must have died in the mid-60s. I'm not sure if she died in 63 or that's just when, she must have because that's when they got the house.
Yeah.
And I'm sure she wouldn't have given it up unless they moved her to a rest home. I don't know. Piano was original. Do you recognize that old box there right in front of you on the floor? They don't hear me. Do you recognize the old box there on the floor? A commode. It's a potty. The lid comes up, there's a little potty.
We don't have to drag it out on the bed.
That's right.
This is the laundry room back here. The white one?
Yeah.
There's a railroad station down there. Hardware store.
Well, let's see, down there's the vet hospital and the tinsmith shop. You want to see those or not?
Well, let's walk straight back. Oh, it's locked. Nice old school. Those desks look like the desk that I had. With the inkwell and a lot of kids carved their names in them.
When I first started to school, we had chairs like that too.
Well,
desks
you're
like that.
you're an old timer too, huh? This is this the courthouse?
What?
There's all sorts of surveying equipment here.
Well, it must be the surveying company. Survey company.
They look like a government building from the front.
It's the Surveyors Association.
So when you set up a homestead, wagon over there looks like it'd be comfortable riding. See the springs under the seat?
Yeah.
And that mower over behind it, I remember seeing my daddy, or that's a plow, riding and cussing on it, cussing the mules. Oh, there's a post office. Property markers. Use mounds like this. Law office. What's that running there?
Sounds like me.
And here's where we saw the mouse. Oh, it's a fan. We got wet in here. Stuhr here for little people to carry out their transactions.
It's supposed to be the president's office.
That's the lawyer's office, I think.
Oh, that's the Paul, over here.
Paul? Oh, yeah. So many reflections here, it's hard to... Jesse James has been here.
There's the jail.
Is the jail here? Those bars didn't seem very strong in that jail.
There's an outdoor jail.
You know, this one looks a little more secure. They say let people walk by and harass them. In other words, the volunteer fire department, the volunteers had better show up.
That's right.
Would you, you mind standing in that outside jail so I can photograph you?
Yeah, because you just might lock it up.
Well, I did. I do want to lock it up. Watch your eyes.
Okay, you want to go see the railroad?
Yeah.
Looks like a mighty big horse has been walking around here.
Boy, that is a big hoof, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm making a panorama of the railroad. This camera's going to pick you up bitching if you aren't careful. Another big bump. Would you open it back up again? Okay.
Just about your cover holes.
Wood for the fire, for the stove.
Yeah.
Looks like the railroad men had a lot of time on their hands. See the checkerboard?
Uh-huh. Well, that was in the marshal's office, too. These checkers are pretty popular. These ones, I think, this might be the original flooring.
Looks like it. Little railroad scooter.
Hmm.
Well, they had solid suitcases in those days.
Yeah.